On the other side of this window, a crime took place. This was Prosecutor Crane's office. These are the many lies of Kevin Crane, the Brady violations.
The idea that Mr. Rogers is trying to imply is that I'm crooked and that I have deliberately withheld evidence from the defense. I certainly do not think it's appropriate to be crucified as some kind of obstructionist subversive on this information.
Whether your secretary or your investigator knew of it, it is imputed in law that you knew it.
Brady disclosure consists of exculpatory or impeaching information and evidence that is material to the guilt or innocence or to the punishment of a defendant. The term comes from the U.S. Supreme Court case Brady v. Maryland, in which the Supreme Court ruled that suppression by the prosecution of evidence favorable to a defendant who has requested it violates due process. Following Brady, the prosecutor must disclose evidence or information that would prove the innocence of the defendant or would enable the defense to more effectively impeach the credibility of government witnesses.
Can you state your name for us, please?
William Hawes.
All right. And how are you presently employed?
I'm retired.
Okay. And where did you work before retiring?
Boone County Prosecutor's Office as an investigator.
Did you work on your own, or did you take orders from prosecutors, or both?
Basically, we're guided.
You also talked about writing reports. You've been in this game a long time, right?
I have.
And you know the purpose of writing reports.
That's right.
You want to preserve or memorialize things, is that correct?
That's correct.
So you can testify to things at proceedings such as this.
That's right.
And you write down a lot. It's not like you just pick and choose the super highlights, but you write down pretty much everything you do in an investigation of this magnitude, correct?
You always try to.
All right. Do you have a report on your phone call with Jerry Trump?
No, I don't.
Didn't write that one down, did you?
No, when I was told there was no report, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Brady violation.
What exactly did he say when he started to give you this information that he thought he could possibly identify the two people? What were the words he used?
I saw their pictures in the newspaper and I recognized them.
Do you know even if that prison allows articles to come in?
I really don't.
Because you know there are restrictions on the types of things that can be sent into a prison.
There are.
Where did he get the article?
He said his wife sent it to him.
When you went and talked to her, what did she say?
She said she didn't recall sending it to him.
You never talked to her, did you?
I talked to her on the phone.
When was that?
I don't know. It was sometime after that, and she was very reluctant.
Did she write a report on that? Did you write a report on that?
No. I recall talking to her, and...
But again, you didn't write a report.
I did not write a report.
By failing to disclose the phone call with Jerry Trump's wife, Barbara, Prosecutor Crane withheld exculpatory evidence that would have allowed Ryan Ferguson's defense team to challenge the credibility of Trump's testimony. Brady violation.
Would you state your full name for the record?
Michael Evans Boyd, Jr.
When you turn that corner and start down the alley, do you see anyone?
I see two people walking.
Okay. Did you look in your mirror to see Mr. Heitholt?
Yes.
Is that the last time that you see him?
Yeah.
So you've turned the corner and you see these two individuals. Now, can you describe when you see them, do you know whether they're, what their race is? Are they Caucasian, African American?
I didn't pay attention because, like I said, they startled me.
Would it be fair to say you didn't get a good look at them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know if the two individuals were male or female?
I didn't even pay that close attention at all.
Do you know if they were white or darker skinned?
No.
Okay. Do you go to the Columbia Police Department to report that you have seen two individuals in the alley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who do you believe that you interviewed with?
I thought it was John Short.
And do you tell Detective Short exactly what you've told us about what you saw?
But the two folks were walking through. Yes, ma'am.
How long after the murder do you go back in and report that you've seen these two individuals walking down the alley?
Within the year.
Within a year?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you do that before you move to St. Genevieve?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you go back in and make that report, you're still employed at the Columbia Tribune?
Yes.
As of this date, neither police nor prosecutors have provided a report on this contact between Detective Short and Michael Boyd. Brady violation.
Now, after the arrest of Ferguson and Erickson, around February of 2005, are you interviewed by a state's attorney investigator, William Hawes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you give William Hawes the same information that you've just testified to about the two individuals?
Yes.
Okay. So once again, you tell him you don't know their race.
I don't remember telling anybody anything about the race, so.
Okay. And you don't remember telling him that they're male or female?
No, ma'am.
You don't tell him they're young or old or anything, right?
No.
You did write a report on this interview, is that right?
Yes.
And that's a 2-page report with your name on the second page. Does that adequately reflect your report of your interview with actually Charles Erickson and Mike Boyd?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And you took down everything just as accurately as you could?
Yes.
And you say you asked Boyd about seeing the two individuals. He told you he said he saw two white guys? It's highlighted on the screen, too.
Yes.
That's what he told you?
As I recall, yes.
I don't remember telling anybody anything about the race, so.
Is Michael Boyd lying, or did Investigator Haas misrepresent the statement given to him in July 2005, resulting in a Brady violation?
Could you please state your name?
Kimberly Lee Bennett.
What time did you say the bar started to close?
It started to close around 1 a.m.
Okay. And, Kim, are you 100% sure that you saw Ryan Ferguson leave the bar, get into his car, and drive away in the early morning hours of November 1st, 2001?
100%.
Were you ever questioned about the matters I've been talking to you about today?
Yes.
And were you questioned by law enforcement?
Yes. 2 officers came to my house and questioned Amanda and I, asking us if we knew anything, and, we told them that we were there that night and that we, exactly what's in my affidavit.
Okay. So 2 officers, are you referring to officers from the Columbia Police Department?
Yes.
Can you describe the 2 officers to the best of your ability?
One of them was kind of taller with dark hair, and the other one was a little shorter, stocky, and bald.
And did you tell them that you saw Ryan and Chuck walk out of the bar, cross the street, and leave in Ryan's car?
Yeah. Yes.
When they were talking to you, did they appear to be writing anything down?
Yes, they did.
Did you talk to the police sometime in 2005? Did they come back and ask you some more questions?
Yes.
Did you testify at the trial of Ryan Ferguson?
No.
Were you contacted to testify at the trial of Ryan Ferguson?
No.
Were you ever contacted by any prosecutors, defense attorneys, anybody?
No. I always assumed that, I would have been called to trial.
Why did you assume that you would have been called to trial?
Because I assumed that Ryan's attorneys had a copy of the police report. And so, if they needed me, they would have contacted me.
Why was a report that corroborated Ryan's story and provided an alibi never disclosed? Brady violation.
Whether your secretary or your investigator knew of it, it is imputed in law that you knew it.
For more of the many lies of Kevin Crane, click here.